lesson, I am going to teach you how to conquer some of those more challenging chords. Now, if you've just started playing guitar, challenging chord may mean a G or a C, so I'm going to talk about that in this lesson. If you've been playing for a little while, you're like, hey Jamie, I got C and G. Well, then I'm also going to talk about F. People don't like the F, and it is a little more challenging. Here is one version of the F I'll be teaching. And if you've already got that version, I'm also going to show you bar chords. So don't run screaming from the room if you've never done bar chords before. Like anything else on the guitar, they can be mastered if you practice and if you take it slowly. So we'll start with the G chord. So the G chord is a little bit of a stretch for beginners. And that's because we're doing something with our hands that we don't do in everyday life, all right? You know, you don't just like walk down the street like this. Maybe you do, I don't know. But so it takes a little bit of practice to gain the strength and the flexibility you need for a chord like this. So the key is practice. There is no magic pill. I wish there was, or we'd all be guitar players. What a wonderful world if everyone played guitar. But it does take some practice. So start with just the one chord and strum it. Do that a few times, and then leave it alone for that day. Then the next time that you practice, do it again. All right? The next chord I'm going to talk about is the C chord. And again, because it's a little bit of a stretch, sometimes beginners are like, oh, Jamie, I don't know. Well, here is the key. Get your fingers in the right place. Don't worry quite so much about what the chord sounds like. And do the same thing that you did with the G. Just play it over and over again. And eventually your fingers will become stronger and more flexible. It also helps to put these chords in a song so that you can practice them in a song. Because sometimes just practicing a chord by itself is a little boring. So if you can put it in a song, that makes all the difference in the world. So that's the C and the G chord. And again, practice is the key. You're going to hear me say that a lot during this lesson. And here's the F chord. I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. Now the F chord can be a challenge because it's a partial bar. You're using your index finger to press down the first and second string on the first fret, and then you put these two fingers here. I'll put a chord diagram up. So the key with playing a good F chord is make sure you get as much of the neck in your hand as you can. So I'm laying the neck of the guitar right here in this part of my hand, so I've got lots of support, and I'm pulling my thumb up, and that helps me with support also. Also, make sure you've got a nice arch to these two fingers so that they're not interfering with the ringing of the other strings. Now, I just talked about the ringing of the strings, but you know, don't be overly concerned with that, all right? In the beginning, just get your fingers in the right place. Just play that F chord over and over again. And don't fret if it sounds a little muted or a little weird. Once you get it, see if you can change it back and forth with another chord, maybe the C. So here's an F. And a C. F. C. So if that change is new to you, turn off this video and practice that chord change back and forth. You're not going to get it in just one sitting. Be really patient. Practice, practice, practice. You will get rewarded at the end, I promise. It's not just about playing random chords. The other thing that you can do with an F chord is to play a bar chord. And I know a lot of bar chords are like, I don't want bar chords. But if you've already mastered open chords, those are the chords that employ open strings, then bar chords are the next. And bar chords are amazingly versatile things, and I talk more about bar chords in other lessons, and I'll put the links to those lessons underneath here. If you want to play a bar chord F, what you want to do is form what would be an E shape down here with your second, third, and fourth finger. So it's a little different than the way you normally do an E. Then slide it down to the second and third fret. Then put your index finger straight across that first fret, and that's an F chord. Barre chords do require extra strength and flexibility. So if you've never done them before, you might want to practice. In fact, I know you do want to practice. And if it sounds a little muffled, don't fret. Don't fret. A little guitar joke there. Don't worry about that. Just play it. Just get your fingers in the right place. And eventually your fingers will gain the strength and the flexibility they need to play that chord. Now, I mentioned earlier that just playing random chords is kind of boring. It's great if you can put them into a song. That makes it a little more interesting. That's how I like to learn anyway. So I'm going to play you a little bit of Let It Be. I do have a lesson for Let It Be, and I'll put a link underneath this video. So here are some of the chords that I have covered. C, G, and then there's an F. So in this song, I'm going to alternate between this version of the F and a bar F. So play whatever F is comfortable for you if you're playing along with me. Here we go. Ready, and when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And there's lots more. I'll put a link to the words and the chords underneath this video. Once again, I covered the G chord, C, and two different ways to do the F. It's all about the practice, y'all. Be sure to check out the rest of my lessons. I've got about 400 here for beginning and intermediate guitar players, as well as ukulele and mandolin. Please buy me a coffee if you want to support the work that I do. I'll put a link somewhere in this video. It's only $3, or you can pay more if you want. Support me on Patreon. It's another great way to support the work that I do. And if you want to check out my original music, it's at jamieanderson.com. Thanks, everybody.